Well, that's cool. Okay, so see the game gets a little tense. You know, you have somebody chasing you down in the castle. You can be killed by the butcher, the alligators, the stones. The castle is pretty much a death trap. All right, so we'll save here now that we're out, and we'll try to not pixel ourselves right off of the. I'm doing this at fast speed, and it's actually making me really nervous. Now, double clicking on a direction will make you come to a stop, but I'll be honest and say my reaction times aren't that good all the time. Well, goodbye, Horn King's castle. Now we've got to make our way back down, which is its whole own adventure. Okay. Now, the whole reason in going to the castle is that, well, first of all, if you lose Elenwy, you need to rescue her. Or Henwen, you need to rescue her. When you get there, you have the 2 prisoners to save, but also the magic sword. And the magic sword's pretty important in the legend of the Black Cauldron. Whew, made it. And the reason it's so important, and let's save here before we go, is because it's the only thing that can defeat the Horn King. It really is magical. I'm about to die. And in the Foundling, which is the lore of the Black Cauldron in all of the books that chronicle Prydain, the magic sword was misused in the past by the king. The king that you saw buried beneath the castle actually used it for evil. And so by doing that, he actually condemned his own life, because the whole point of the sword was to do good. And so he was buried beneath the castle along with his army. And so a lot of those skeletons you see there are his former soldiers that used to be employed by him. Now, in the future, the Aeron, the wizard, comes around, and he begins to take those same undead, or those same soldiers who had died, so that he can resurrect them using the Black Cauldron. Now, the thing is that Terran isn't worthy of using the magic sword. Even if he discovers it early, he's not really able to wield it. It's not until the 5th book that Terran really realized. He goes through a whole journey of the hero in book 4, in which he, through a lot of loss and through a lot of suffering, he realizes that, through all the books leading up to book 4, he realizes that war is not really worth anything. And so, by book 7, he's finally able, having realized that killing in warfare really isn't worth anything, he's finally able to wield the sword by book 7. Now, let's save this, because I may be doing something incredibly stupid again. You can't do anything here. Okay. We have the magic sword, and I think that's a worthy item for the Witches of Morva, who, again, remember, are the most powerful creatures in the land. They're above Dalbin, they're above the Horn King. And in fact, they really don't care about who's fighting who or what. They know what's to come, they know what has been. Nothing affects them. Okay, so we're flying back to the witches. Yeah, again, they sort of represent fate. And, okay, so I hit solid ground. No, see, that's why we saved. Let's go a little bit further south before we use that powder. And so, they don't care if the Horn King raises an army. You know, they'll exist. They'll continue to exist through all of the pages of time. And so they're unconcerned with the affairs of mankind, but they are tricksters, and they do like to deal, and they do like to collect rare things. And so they're willing to give the cauldron up, and the only reason they're willing to give the cauldron up is because they know they'll get it back. One way or another, centuries may pass, but they will get the cauldron back, because nothing is a threat to them. But now we're going to try to see if the magic sword is worth their time. I know I'm saving a lot here, but I just hate... I'm not the only gamer who does this, right? You know, it's saving addiction. You learn it through games like Resident Evil. Alright, so once again we're going to open up the chest. The frogs are going to jump out. Somehow the sword swerves and swishes past the chest. Okay, so they're angry. I'm going to give them the sword. Oh. Let's show you some cauldrons. What? You dare to threaten us with a little pig boy sword. Let us show you some cauldrons from our collection. Okay. Dang. So I got hit by a cauldron and now I'm a frog. Maybe I shouldn't swing it at them. Alright, I'm going to take a pause here and I'm going to figure out exactly what I need to do because I'm honestly unsure. When I come back, we will continue figuring out what needs to be done to get these witches to give us a Black Cauldron. In the meantime, jeez, that music's annoying. Anyway, in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this and we'll be back. Okay, so coming back into the game, I figured out what needs to be done. Now, I was right, we needed the magic sword, but I've learned that maybe I should talk to somebody before waving a sword at them. That was basically my downfall. So let's go back in the house. Let's equip the sword. And I guess that's a lesson for life, you know? Before taking a weapon out of your pocket, maybe you should tell somebody that you're going to do so. So we open the chest. Frogs come flying out. A shrieking voice pierces the air asking, you know, who are we and why did we release the frogs? Well, let's actually talk to them. Yeah, of course they're annoyed with me. I just freed all their prisoners. We've gone through this before. You know, you introduce yourself. I am Taryn, assistant pig keeper of Caer Dalbin. And remember, Dalbin is the second most powerful person in the land. These people are the most powerful. I should also note here that in the Foundling, which is the lore of the Black Cauldron, Dalbin was actually raised by these witches and accidentally came to understand their mystical power by touching the Book of Three, which was one of their books that had all of their magical power. So you ask to be given the cauldron. They say that they never give anything away, they only bargain. This is true in the books and in the movie. And then they, you know, go through their ambiguous little spiel here where they say they may have a bunch of cauldrons or no cauldrons or whatever. And then they threaten to turn you into a frog. But this time we know what to do. Let's, here you say, I offer you my most prized possession, a sword with magic so powerful it once belonged to the good king who built the great castle which the Horn King has taken over. Thank you, Taryn, says Ordu. This is exactly what we want. Now step outside with us, and you may have your Black Cauldron. Arwen laughs. Now you have the Black Cauldron you have been seeking, but it won't do you any good. Ha ha! I actually kind of thought of that kid from The Simpsons when I read that. There's only one way to stop the evil power of the Black Cauldron, Duckling, croaks Orgoch. A living being must jump into the cauldron of its own free will. Unfortunately, anyone who does will never emerge alive. Again. Hee hee, Ordu cackles. Now you've lost your magic sword and have the cauldron, but there's nothing you can do to destroy it. Now, it's good save time. The Black Cauldron's curse is that you do have to... The only way to destroy it is for someone to willingly enter it in order to destroy its evil, somebody of a good enough heart must be willing to basically kill themselves. The vicious winged Gwithane is after the Black Cauldron. Farewell, Terrans, screeched the witches. There's nothing you can do now that the Gwithane has seen the Black Cauldron. Oh, jeez, no. There. Okay. Now, in the books and in the movies, the witches are tricksters. I wonder what happens if I try to open up the door again. Or open the chest. Oh, you can't open it anymore. I think in the books they vanish, like the house isn't necessarily there the second time around if you try to go back to look for it. They're tricksters. They're entertained by deception, things like that. We won't be needing to come back here, so we don't have to worry about flying dust at this point. Okay. I think we're out. Flying dust. Yeah, that's it. Well, the Gwythain got the treasure. Or got the Black Cauldron. So now we have to go back to the castle. See, this is another reason why I didn't want to deal with Henwin. It's because you have to go back anyway. So you go up there, you get Henwin. You come back down. You go back up there to rescue people. You come back down.